Hello everyone, welcome to Mastermind. Let us learn about SAARC, its history, its features, and everything about SAARC in this particular video. So, first of all, let us look at the historical background of SAARC. The idea of regional cooperation in South Asia was first initiated in May 1980. So, the genesis of the idea of regional cooperation in South Asia first came in the year 1980. However, in the following year itself, in the very following year, the foreign secretaries of the seven countries, which include India, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Maldives, except Afghanistan, all other countries' foreign secretaries met for the first time in Colombo in the year 1981. That is, in the following year itself, in 1981, the foreign secretaries of these seven countries met in order to give a shape to the idea of regional cooperation in South Asia. So, the foreign secretaries met in the year 1981. Foreign secretaries of all the countries, of all the present member countries of the SAARC except Afghanistan, met in the year 1981, and five key areas for regional cooperation were identified, and with time other important areas were also added. Again, in the year 1985, this is very important here, please remember, the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation was set up when its charter was formally adopted in 1985. The heads of the states of India, Bangladesh, Maldives, Bhutan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Pakistan formally adopted the charter of SAARC in the year 1985. So please remember, this is the historical background of SAARC. SAARC was established in Dhaka. It was established in the capital city of Bangladesh, that is Dhaka, in 1985. However, now the SAARC has its headquarters at Kathmandu, which is the capital city of Nepal. So, SAARC was established in Dhaka, but it has its headquarters in Kathmandu, Nepal now. So please remember these points. Now let us look at the member countries of the SAARC. First of all, SAARC was established in 1985 by seven countries. Which are those seven countries? Those seven countries are India, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Maldives. So, seven countries are the member countries of SAARC from the beginning itself. However, Afghanistan joined SAARC in the year 2007. Afghanistan joined in the year 2007. So, as of now, the member countries of SAARC, the number of member countries are 8. SAARC has 8 member countries as of today. Now, let us look at the observer states of SAARC. SAARC has totally 9 observer states. They are Australia, China, European Union, Iran, Japan, Mauritius, United States of America, Myanmar, and Republic of Korea. Now let us look at the significance of SAARC. Why SAARC is relevant today? First of all, SAARC is one of the most densely populated regions of the world. It is one of the most densely populated regions of the world. In addition to this, it is also one of the most fertile areas of the world. It is also one of the most fertile areas of the world. In addition to this, SAARC commands 3% of the world's area. It commands 3% of the world's area, 21% of the world's population. It commands 21% of the population, and it also includes 3.8% of the world's economy or global economy. So these are the facts you will have to remember so that you can use this in descriptive answers. Besides, SAARC countries have common tradition, dress, food, culture, and political aspects, thereby synergizing their actions. So, SAARC countries have common tradition, dress, food, culture, and other political aspects as well, which can be brought in synchronization with each other to achieve benefits. In addition to these things, SAARC countries also have some common problems and solutions. They all share some common problems to which there could be solutions when they work out together. So, what are those problems? Problems such as poverty, illiteracy, malnutrition, natural disasters, etc. So, what happens is these countries can uplift their living standards by creating common areas of development. They can tackle these problems together. So, the SAARC platform enables these countries to tackle these problems together and to uplift the standard of living of the people of these countries. Now let us look at the achievements of SAARC. First of all, a free trade area is established. A free trade area is established by the SAARC countries. So these countries have established the free trade area in order to increase the internal trade. The main objective of this free trade area is to increase the internal trade and also to decrease the trade gaps that exist between the countries of SAARC. SAARC is comparatively a new organization in this sense. The next major achievement of SAARC is the SAFTA or the SAARC Free Trade Agreement. This agreement was made in order to reduce the custom duties to zero by the year 2016 on all the traded goods. You have to note down one more point, that SAFTA is only for traded goods and it does not include services like IT. It does not include services like IT. So this is one of the major demerit of SAARC Free Trade Agreement. It includes only the traded goods, and the major intention of this SAFTA was to reduce the custom duties on all the traded goods in these countries to zero by the year 2016. SAARC also came up with another trading agreement called as SAPTA or South Asia Preferential Trading Agreement. South Asia Preferential Trading Agreement. This came into effect in the year 1995 to promote trade amongst the member countries. Another major achievement of SAARC is establishing a SAARC university in India. Establishing a SAARC university in India. In addition to these, an energy reserve in Pakistan as well as the food bank are also considered as achievements of SAARC. Now let us look at the major challenges faced by SAARC as an organization. The first major obstacle is that the region is plagued by unsettled territorial disputes. The region is plagued by unsettled territorial disputes as well as trans-border criminal activities and subversive activities and cross-border terrorism as well. So, the region is plagued by unsettled territorial disputes. There are disputes between India and Pakistan. There are disputes between India and Nepal. Likewise, there are also territorial disputes between India and Bangladesh. And also there are trans-border criminal activities like flesh trade, opium trade, etc. that happen between these countries. And the issue of cross-border terrorism is not new between India and Pakistan. So these are some of the hurdles. These are some of the major hurdles in arriving at a consensus between these countries with respect to SAARC. Besides territorial disputes, the region has also been an epicenter for ethnic, cultural, regional, religious tensions as well. We all know that India and Pakistan were divided due to religious or communal tensions. At the same time, there are regional disputes between Pakistan and Afghanistan as well. So there are differences between India and Bangladesh with respect to border. India and Nepal have Kalapani dispute in between them. India and Sri Lanka have Kachativo Island disputes between them. India and Pakistan have SAARC Creek dispute between them. Likewise, there are also major and many disputes, regional, communal, ethnic tensions between these countries of SAARC. In addition to these factors, countries like Sri Lanka, Maldives, Nepal, etc. are wary of India's hegemony in the region. They are very afraid of the fact that India could emerge as the regional player in the region, and these countries might have to be at the behest. They have to be at the command of India. So this is another fear that has been inflicted upon these countries by countries like China, Pakistan, etc. The next major challenge for the SAARC is the rivalry between India and Pakistan. We all know the historic rivalry that has existed between India and Pakistan. And India and Pakistan are two of the big countries that are the members of SAARC. Hence, the rivalry between India and Pakistan, the heightened tensions and the conflicts, the territorial disputes, etc., have severely hampered the prospects of SAARC. Since these two countries are at loggerhead with each other, it has costed a lot for SAARC in arriving at consensus on major issues. Another major challenge is the clause of bilateral and contentious issues in SAARC. The Charter of SAARC itself has some self-imposed anomalies. These are called as anomalies because what happens is it has the provision of not discussing the contentious bilateral issues. That is, it does not provide a platform to settle the bilateral disputes or contentious disputes between the country. On one hand, this clause is there, but on the other hand, it asks for increased cooperation between the countries. increased cooperation. Unless there is a consensus on these bilateral and contentious issues, there cannot be increased cooperation between the countries. And as long as there is no increased cooperation between the countries, then arriving at decisions or the successful functioning of a regional grouping is not possible. So this is an anomaly in the SAARC Charter. The next challenge that the SAARC is facing is the common features that are shared between the South Asian countries. The common features of the South Asian countries or the countries that are present in the SAARC grouping are cheap labor, cheap labor, low incomes, low value added commodities, etc. So what happens is when all the countries share similar features and they also have similar advantages in same commodities like tea, garments, etc. So what happens is when many countries share similar features, the intra-regional trade cannot be successful because all the countries, instead of complementing each other, they start competing with each other. Since both the countries are producing the same commodity, they will have to make sure that their commodities have markets. So in order to make this, there won't be consensus or there won't be complementary features with respect to the economy, but there will be competition. So in such a scenario where there are common features between the economies of different countries in a regional grouping, especially in a trade grouping, the intra-regional trade cannot be successful. Trade and economic structure, industrial infrastructure, when they are similar, there will be competition between the countries rather than complementing the countries, complementing the economies of each other. Let us understand this with an example. Let us say Sri Lanka produces large quantities of rice and Bangladesh produces large quantities of wheat. And in addition to this, Sri Lanka produces very less quantity of wheat and Bangladesh produces very less quantity of rice. So in this scenario, Sri Lanka can export rice to Bangladesh and import wheat from Bangladesh. So when this particular scenario is considered, there is trade happening between these two countries. However, let us consider another scenario where they have similar economic structure in which or similar agricultural pattern in which Sri Lanka is also producing rice as largest commodity and Bangladesh also has rice as the largest commodity. In this scenario, both the countries have enough rice for both the populations, and instead of importing rice from each other, they start selling the rice to other countries. They start competing with each other for markets in different countries. So this is how the intra-regional trade cannot be a success when the countries in a regional grouping share common features. In addition to these things, there is also low frequency of meeting between the SAARC countries. Low frequency of the meeting. Hence, the issues cannot be dealt with satisfactorily. More engagement between member nations are required instead of biennial meetings. The SAARC countries should meet annually in order to discuss various issues and keep the organization functioning. So these are the major challenges that the SAARC is facing as of today. So please go through the video multiple times for better clarity and also refer to the objectives of SAARC in the article given on Mastermind. Thank you.